Hello everyone, Soprano Theories here, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another video. Earlier this week, a Sopranos-related image went viral around the internet. The image itself first began to go viral on Facebook and has since gained a lot of traction. The poster has Michael Gandolfini, son of the late James Gandolfini, coinciding with the word soprano, alongside a date of January 2025. Of course, this would indicate a series is happening about a younger version of Tony Soprano, much like what we were supposed to get during the prequel film of The Many Saints of Newark. Personally, I'm not sold on the image itself, as anything can be created nowadays by anyone or AI, and anyone can go into Photoshop and add text. But if this is in fact a real thing, I thought I'll make a video out of it and analyze this simple image. Now, behind Gandolfini are the Twin Towers, something that we would see in the show's intro only for this scene to be removed after the 9/11 terrorist attacks. It's also interesting to note that Tony's birthday is August 22nd, 1959, and the Twin Towers were completed in 1973. So, if the series were to begin around the 70s with a teenage Tony Soprano, it's very possible that if the series is in fact a real thing, that we would see a 14-year-old Tony Soprano walking the streets of New York and New Jersey. However, when we look at Gandolfini's IMDb page, there's no upcoming Sopranos-related projects, so it seems to be the poster is indeed a fugazi. But if this is a real image and a real thing happening for HBO and The Sopranos, why not take another kick at the can when it comes to the prequel Sopranos content? Yes, The Many Saints of Newark didn't do well in theaters, but it did tremendously well online in regards to streaming. And it was during this time that The Sopranos saw a revitalization thanks to the film. And The Sopranos and its millions of devoted fans, just like yourself watching this video, are always looking for more Sopranos content to interact with. So it makes sense why HBO is willing to reboot The Sopranos' audience. And when we think back to The Many Saints of Newark, there's so many topics that we never got to see, such as Tony's first murder, the rise of Christopher Moltisanti, we never got to see Tony playing football, being the varsity athlete that he was, and the infamous card game heist that Tony pulled off on Feach Lamanna. In The Many Saints of Newark, we saw Tony hem and haw his way around the mob lifestyle. Initially, he didn't want to become a gangster. He wanted to stay straight and go to school. But as we all know, he chose the mob lifestyle. Not because he wanted to, but because of who he was surrounded by. His entire family was in the mob. His uncle, his father, and all of his friends' fathers. So in this fugazi prequel made-up television series, it would be interesting to see what storylines would take place with a young version of Tony Soprano. But sadly, this whole entire concept is fake. The page itself, Yoda Baby Abby, states in its bio that this whole page is fake news. This fake news of a Sopranos series just goes to show that you can't believe everything you see online and that you must read deeper past the initial headline. The image itself has over 50,000 interactions and likes, has over 10,000 comments, and has 15,000 shares. And when we take a look at the caption for the image, it says, "Witness 10 episodes set in the gritty streets of the late 1980s Newark." While the owner of this page does have something right there that The Sopranos was set in Newark, however, a young Tony Soprano or Michael Gandolfini here is standing in front of New York's Twin Towers. As we continue, the caption says, "Soprano follows a young Tony Soprano as he rises through the ranks of the mob under the watchful eye of his mentor, Paulie Gualtieri." This entirely is not true at all, because earlier on in the series, we hear Tony say to Dr. Melfi that Christopher's dad Dickie was like a father to him. And with Tony's dad dying so young, he also looks at Uncle Junior as a father figure throughout the series. Even with Paulie Gualtieri being older than Tony, he never looks at him as a father or a mentor. In fact, he almost considers whacking Paulie in Remember When, as he tried forcing Gualtieri to admit to telling everyone the joke about Ginny's sacrimony, and especially admitting to telling John Sacrimony the joke itself. The caption continues where it says, "Struggling with family obligations and the lure of organized crime, Tony forms a tight-knit crew, including his childhood friend Silvio Dante." David Chase masterfully captures the origins of an iconic mob boss in this compelling prequel to The Sopranos. If you want to check out the post itself, a link will be in the description below because it's actually hilarious how many people think this is actually real. As stated previously, this just goes to show you can't believe everything you see online. What are your thoughts about this Fugazi poster? I would love to hear them down in the comment section below, whether you think it's real or it's fake. And if it was to be real, would you watch it? Of course, follow me on all my socials, X, Instagram, Patreon, and TikTok. As always, for more Sopranos content, keep it locked here, right here on this channel.